powerful explosions were heard in Russia's Kursk region. A missile strike targeted a concentration of Russian military equipment, according to the Ash of Kursk channel. A series of explosions reportedly occurred in the city of Lvov. According to Russian media, Ukrainian armed forces allegedly struck a concentration of military equipment near a Rosneft gas station on the outskirts of the city. 3 strikes targeted clusters of equipment and personnel at intervals of 5 to 7 minutes, the report said. The exact number of Russian casualties and wounded is currently unknown. The attack site has been cordoned off by military and emergency services. The Ukrainian Armed Forces Command has not commented on the strikes. The Ash of Kursk channel also published a video showing the aftermath of the attack. A Russian volunteer with blood on her hands reported about 3 powerful missiles.
Hello everyone, this is the Varkonsi project. I'm Oliana Spear. I'm being asked to record a little video. Here are the bloody hands of Kharkiv citizens. Once again,
the armed forces of Ukraine struck with some very powerful rockets. There were 3. Approach with a short break.
They struck where?
there's quite a bit of active movement, tension is present. Unfortunately, there are casualties among the civilian population. With the guys who ended up at the epicenter, quickly, well, they were able to react. Those who received first aid, some were quickly taken in cars to emergency services. In general, the main thing I want to say is to remind people, to those living in the red zone, do not be afraid to learn, to hide in shelters, and to think for yourself. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your loved ones.
Firm's satellite detected a fire at a Rosneft facility in Ryazan, likely from a drone strike. Earlier, at least 5 UAVs were reportedly shot down over the refinery, with debris falling outside the perimeter. Operators from the Charlie Company of the 14th Separate UAV Regiment, in coordination with the 15th Artillery Reconnaissance Brigade, Chorny Lis, detected and targeted multiple Russian systems. The strike resulted in the destruction or disabling of 3 surface-to-air missile systems, a Tor system of an unspecified modification, a Buk M3, and an S-300 system. Additionally, a command and control vehicle belonging to the air defense unit was also hit. In a twist of modern warfare irony, Ukraine has repeatedly struck Russian air defense systems using drones. Yes, the very weapons those systems were built to stop are slipping past and blowing them up. From Crimea to Belgorod, Ukrainian drones have knocked out some of Russia's prized S-300 and S-400 systems, exposing vulnerabilities in what was once seen as a formidable shield. It's a classic case of the hunter becoming the hunted. These strikes not only degrade Russia's ability to control the skies, they also humiliate a superpower that sells these same systems globally as top-tier defense tech. Turns out, a few $1,000s of Ukrainian ingenuity can outwit millions in Russian hardware, proving that in this war, brains often beat brawn. And the irony runs deeper. Every destroyed Russian battery clears the sky a little more for even more Ukrainian drones. It's not just clever tactics, it's strategic trolling with explosives. Putin has appointed Andrei Mordvichev as the new commander of Russia's ground forces. His troops were involved in the destruction of Mariupol, mass killings of civilians, and repression in occupied areas. He closely coordinated with Kadyrov's forces and took part in assaults on Kyiv, Donetsk, and Zaporizhzhia regions. A North Korean warship launch went wrong in front of Kim Jong-un, leaving the dictator furious, reports The Guardian. The 5,000-ton destroyer tipped during its launch in Chongjin, damaging the hull. Kim called it a disgrace and ordered repairs before the next party meeting. Satellite imagery by Open Source Center confirms the ship capsized. During an interview on Al Arabiya, former Putin advisor Sergei Markov accidentally revealed that Russia has suffered several 100,000 casualties in Ukraine, far higher than official Kremlin figures. If accurate, these are Russia's heaviest military losses since World War II.
Is President Putin genuinely interested in peace?
Yes, Vladimir Putin very much interested in peace. because Russia already paid a few 100,000 lives to this war. And also, maybe 2 or 3 times more Ukrainian people also have been killed during this war. And for us, Ukrainians, it's also part of the Russian people. It's my opinion, it's opinion of Vladimir Putin, which has been expressed by him in different media. It's opinion of absolute majority of Russian people, according to sociology. And we know that Ukraine been part of the Russia during more than 1,000 years, and Kiev was the capital of Russia during 3 centuries. And the native language for the something about 70% of the people in Ukraine is Russian language. So for us, it's great tragedy. It's civil war, and of course we should stop this war as soon as possible. But Putin cannot agree with Donald Trump, who demand during this call 30-day ceasefire, because this 30-day ceasefire will be used by Great Britain, France, and other European countries for sending their troops to Ukrainian territory, sending the occupation troops to Ukrainian territory. And in fact, after some provocation from Vladimir Zelensky, new stage of the war will start again. And as a result, it will be the war between Russia and France and Great Britain. It means about Russia and NATO, which will be very easily moved to the nuclear catastrophe. And all of you, my friends who are listening to us, will be killed because of this provocative suggestion of Vladimir Zelensky. And of course, that's why Russia
Ilya, go ahead.
For the peace deal, but with conditions. Specific conditions will be solved. And it means that the political terror against Russian people should be stopped in Ukraine. Political terror against Russian language should be stopped. Political terror against Orthodox Church should be stopped. And this is main reason of this war. It should be resolved. It's exactly what.
Chaos at Moscow airports after drone attacks. Flights are grounded at Vnukovo, Sheremetyevo, and Domodedovo. Russian sources report hundreds of stranded passengers. At least 13 departures delayed at Vnukovo and 11 at Domodedovo. Some travelers say they've been stuck since last night. Brussels is preparing a Plan B to launch EU accession talks with Ukraine without Hungary, should Orban maintain his veto. The workaround, dubbed parallel negotiations, would see 26 member states move forward with Kyiv, even if unanimity isn't reached, possibly already by fall. Foreign volunteers in the Ukrainian armed forces speak about their motivation to fight on Ukraine's side.
My first real training here was in Bakhmut. It's real dangerous, but I like it. For me, I know it's very bad, but I feel I can help the peoples. So when I stay in the front line, and como é que fala medo? I prefer Ukraine. The culture here is very beautiful. I like it.
Somebody invaded another country, like he's the aggressor, and it's the clear thing. We can't trust them. Even if Putin is not there, they have to change their mentality. They are still stuck in this zombie-like.
Wszyscy tu jesteśmy dla wyższych celów. Tu ludzie giną dla wyższych celów, tylko że niektórzy tego nie rozumieją. Nie? Tu następny to będzie kto inny, nie Polska to kto inny. To w końcu do nas przyjdą, nie? Wszędzie pójdą. I to będzie koniec nas wszystkich, nie? Dopóki Europa się nie obudzi, no to co mamy zrobić? Walczymy, no ilu nas jest, to jest. Dużo strzelania, dużo praktyki, dużo wszystkiego. No. Tam w Polsku nie ma takich rarytasów. Zapraszamy tu.
Перемога Україна. І слава Україні.
The Chief of Defense Staff of Romania, General Gheorghita Vlad, has warned of numerous threats to his country from the Russian Federation. This was reported by Defense Romania. According to him, Romania regularly faces GPS signal spoofing, with such attacks recorded on a weekly basis. Another challenge is the appearance of Russian sea mines drifting in the Black Sea. The general noted that 122 mines have been detected since the start of Russia's full-scale war against Ukraine. The list of threats also includes the possibility of attacks on underwater infrastructure. All these factors, according to the general, create a constant atmosphere of tension, indicating that many dangers created mainly by the Russian Federation continue to exist. Responding to a question about the potential withdrawal of U.S. troops from Romania, Gheorghiță Vlad stated unequivocally, "Yes, we are ready." At the same time, he stressed that at present, there are no concrete signs that this could happen. Our border with Ukraine is very long. We have the longest border, 800 kilometers. The danger exists, and we cannot cover it, and no country in the world can cover this entire territory with the air defense systems at its disposal, he added. Militarny recently reported that a law has come into force in Romania, giving the armed forces the right to shoot down enemy drones and conduct military operations on the country's territory even in peacetime. The presidential administration announced that interim head of state Ilie Bolozhin had signed 2 key pieces of legislation: law on the conduct of military missions and operations on the territory of Romania in peacetime, and law on the control of the use of national airspace. The relevant initiatives were developed by the Romanian Ministry of Defense due to a legislative gap regarding the use of the armed forces. Previously, the Romanian army could not shoot down drones or missiles violating its airspace unless a state of emergency had been declared in the country.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.